We are just 2 days away from San Antonio's general election. It's coming up on Saturday, May 4th. That's when we could find out who the next leaders of San Antonio will be. Steve Spriester joining us now here on the KSAT News at 9. I say could find out because some of these races are so packed with candidates, we may be heading to a runoff.
Yeah, and some of them are so tight. I mean, and one of them that I include is the mayor's race. And if you would have told me 3 months ago that this mayor's race would be close, I would not have believed you.
You would have been shocked.
But there are certain things that have happened over the last few months that have transpired to give Greg Brockhouse some real breathing room here.
Yeah.
I think it's neck and neck right now between Ron Nirenberg and Greg Brockhouse, and I do think we could be heading for a runoff on Saturday.
So if we are, when it comes to the mayor's race, there are 9 candidates in that race.
Yeah.
But of course, 2 of the main ones, the incumbent and Councilman Brockhouse. If we are, what do you think that means for these candidates?
Well, I think Ron Nirenberg needs to win on Saturday. I think he needs to get to 50% plus 1. I think if it goes to a runoff, if you look historically in San Antonio, just in recent history anyway, runoffs have not been good for the incumbents.
What other races? Obviously, that's the big one on Saturday.
Yeah, that's
what
definitely
other
one will be.
What other races are you watching?
I think District 1 is going to be an interesting race. Roberto Trevino was in a very tight race just 2 years ago. He's in another one. I think that when you go through the District 1 candidates, there are a lot of them that stand out on different issues. But I think it's really going to be between Roberto Trevino and Justin Hawley. There's some other very interesting races. I've had some people tell me actually that District 10, Clayton Perry's race, could be closer. Maybe somebody like a Renette King or somebody like that was affiliated with the firefighters union. They have been working for her. They've been doing a lot of different things. Can she get into a runoff with Clayton Perry?
She essentially became their spokesperson not too long ago when all these negotiations or lack of were happening between the union and the city. What do you make of the early vote turnout so far? We know there's more than 961,000 registered voters for this election. Just over 66,000 voted early.
Yeah, I think it's sad that there aren't more people that voted. That's my first thought. Second of all, I'm not sure if this necessarily benefits anybody because it's not that far off from where we were a couple of years ago. I mean, it's lower than we were, but lower by maybe, between 5,000 and 10,000 votes, something like that. So, but people will tell you that historically the early vote now is making up between 60 and 65% of the total vote.
Wow.
So that means when we get the early votes sometime after 7 o'clock on Saturday night, we should have a pretty good idea of where all of these races stand. And we should mention that on Saturday night, we will be doing a Spriester Session Election Night special. We're going to start at 7 o'clock and go until at least 8 o'clock. We should have a pretty good idea by 8 o'clock, I think, and really going to emphasize numbers on Saturday night, since I think we're the only ones that are doing a live stream coverage of it.
We will see where the night takes us.
Indeed.
So our coverage will start at 7 here on KSAT and online as well, and then you and I will both be here Saturday night for the night beat then.
Should be interesting.
All right, thanks, Steve.
You bet.